Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
This is Duck Insider.
These are good problems to have, right? So much success that you have more than one place to be.
5-3, touchdown, Oregon.
Off a dribble, launches, and hits the three. Oregon leads.
What a great opportunity it is to be able to play at the University of Oregon.
I'm just incredibly proud to be a part of something like this.
She wants another three. Oh, three in a row.
Swing and a miss. Oregon is headed to the Super Regional.
Fans being out there making this a great impact.
We are so privileged and so fortunate. We get to see all these young people. We get to see this incredible growth, which is what college is all about.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck Athletics.
Welcome into the Country Financial Studio on a Monday. Ryan Milano here on Duck Insider, brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union, as we break down what was another eventful week in Oregon athletics. And we are now getting into what we like to call around here crossover season, which means that there is just a ton of things going on all the time. We are exactly 1 week away from both men's and women's basketball tipping off at Matt Knight Arena, which means that there's a lot of stuff that's going on, not only around on this side of the river, on this side of the Oregon athletic complexes, but also over on campus. Even starting tonight, Matt Knight Mayhem will be happening tonight. We'll get more into what that means and what that event is, but it is free to appear at Matt Knight Arena from 6:30 to 8:30 tonight for Matt Knight Madness. We'll dive more into what really the event will be for a whole lot of different sports later in the show. Also, Oregon soccer season, their season came to a close. Oregon volleyball, they swept the weekend. They have now regained a position inside of the top 10 rankings. And Oregon football, getting the win, staying as the number one team in the country after a 38-9 victory over Illinois. It was a first half for the ages as Oregon got out of the blocks quick and held on to their lead throughout the entirety of the contest. We had the call with Jerry and Georgie on the microphone. A little recap of what went down on Saturday in a top 20 matchup at Autzen Stadium, one which the Ducks dominated. Here's the game recap.
We're back at Autzen Stadium in Eugene, Oregon. The Fighting Illini, Illinois in town, still an empty backfield. Snap, a straight drop to throw. Looks middle, looks left, looks right. A lot of time, a lot of protection. Now we'll throw it. It's caught. Tez Johnson inside the outside of the 15 on a juke to the 10, to the 5. He got to the pylon. Touchdown, Tez Johnson. Touchdown, Oregon. I'm going this way. Nope, I'm going that way. Now I'm going this way. How about 6? Quick snap, pump fake on the screen. Want to go down deep. He's got Lowe. Did he make the grab? He did! Justice Lowe reaches back, grabs that ball, rolls in. Touchdown, Oregon. Left and right, back to throw off play action. Looking way downfield, one to go deep. This one could be picked off, and it is. Tez Johnson with the interception, and it'll be dragged out at the 10-yard line. Woodington behind Gabriel. The snap, and keeps going to go left, and will score! Jumps into the end zone. Dillon Gabriel can hand it off. He reads the D, pulls it out, and jumps into the end zone going left. 3rd and 11. Straight snap to throw. Pressure hit, goes down. Back at the 20-yard line. Devin Jackson, the first Duck there, but he was not alone. Here's the handoff. There's Woodington up the middle. Buster 5, 3, 2. Lowers his head into the end zone. Woodington will not be denied. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. Touchdown, Oregon. And the snap, keep. Gonna run down, shovel pass to Woodington for the touchdown. It looked like it was gonna be a quarterback option, go left. No, if I pitch it to him, he can score. Loss of 4, 2nd and 14, back to throw. Altmaier wants to go deep, way down the right side. It is intercepted. reached up and picked it out of the air, all the way back to the 41-yard line of Illinois. And that is a final. Oregon put together a convincing win. Oregon 38, Illinois 9.
Big time game here for Oregon against Illinois. Also big time day here in the Country Financial Studio as Gabriel Innocente makes his glorious return. Gabe, one of our interns here over the last few years, now working with the Big Ten Network. He has made his return to the studio. He was at the game this weekend. Gabe, thanks for coming out. Always great to have you, buddy. But, yeah, great game between Oregon and Illinois in this one. And I loved not only the play from Noah Whittington where he just ran an Illini over on his way into the end zone, but I loved even more the call from both Jerry and Jorgie. The visceral, oh, right when he gets run over going into the end zone. That was awesome. That was absolutely awesome. Oregon had a really, really strong first half and a pretty strong ball game as well with a 38-9 victory against Illinois. Coach Dan Lanning, he met with the media, brought to you by Willamette Valley Cancer Institute and Research Center. Better cancer care, close to home. Here's the coach after a top 20 win at Autzen Stadium.
But overall, pleased with our team's performance and think we continue to see this team, have growth and look for opportunities to get better. Obviously going to be playing a really physical team next week, so have to do a great job of continuing to attack where we can improve.
The quarterback is very sound with the ball, not many mistakes this year. You guys forced him into 2 interceptions. What do you see from your secondary in that performance? Yeah, just attacking the ball in the air. I think their wideouts do a really good job of doing that. And we challenged our guys going into the game that, hey, we're going to get some opportunities. You got to go win when we get those opportunities. And again, he's been really good at protecting the ball this year, so we knew they were going to be hard, but their defense has been extremely advantageous into this point as far as creating takeaways. So we felt like it was kind of our defense versus their defense when it comes to creating takeaways, and we were able to do that today.
Dan, you talk about it being a physical game. Only one TFL, and it was the one sack early allowed. What was about your offensive line, offense as a whole, to where you didn't allow very many at all negative plays against a team where you talk about being physical?
Yeah, when you can protect the quarterback, it gives you a chance to stay on schedule. When you avoid TFLs, it gives you a chance to stay on schedule, and that's going to allow you to have success. So I think we had a good offensive plan. I think our coaches did a really good job identifying what we were getting from them early, and they had answers for it.
Dan, Noah's hard running, just explosiveness. How do you feel like that set the tone for this game? Just how far has he come since that injury?
Yeah, this guy does everything right every single day. He works his absolute tail off. I was really thrilled to see him have some success tonight, and he'll be the first one to tell you it starts with the guys up front for him. But he ran hard, right? He created some big plays, had a huge catch obviously last week, was able to turn that into some really positive runs this week. So what I love is that everybody in that running back room is just as excited for his success, and even Dinks when he came in there at the end of the game and created some success for himself as well.
Back-to-back weeks, the defense has kind of buckled up at the end of the game with some second-team and reserves in the field. Kind of speak to the depth you're seeing with this defense right now. Yeah, standard is a standard, regardless of who's in the game. I think our guys are really doing a good job of owning that, and they certainly did that today.
Dan, what do you make of the defense sort of imposing its will throughout the first half and just putting together the performance that it did through those first 30 minutes?
Yeah, when you can get off the field and limit their opportunities, you look up at one point, I think we had, several offensive plays to their limited offensive plays. That's going to create, success for us. So our guys had a good plan. I thought our coaches did a really good job coaching throughout the game, and our players executing that.
I know we talked a lot about the defense, but just the defensive line, since Birch is still out, how have you kind of seen guys like Tatum and Mateo really step up and be able to uphold the standards? And what have you kind of seen from their leadership and how much that has grown since Birch has been out?
Yeah, I think, again, every guy takes it personal. It's their job when they're on the field to own their job and own their assignment, and those guys did a good job of that. Tatum and Mateo have played really consistent football for us this entire season, and certainly we've been asking a little bit more of them because Jordan's been down, but they've done a good job of upholding that.
A couple nice catches for Justice today, including his first touchdown. What have you seen in terms of his development as he stepped into a bigger role over the last couple of weeks? Yeah, just the guy that we trust. Right? When you put him on the field, he's going to do his job. He's going to do his assignment. He executes it really well. Probably one of our best route runners. So, really proud of his progression, his growth in our offense.
7 different guys got a carry, 9 different guys caught a pass. How important is spreading the ball around in your offense?
Well, it's important when that's what's required, and they were playing some zone coverages that meant you had to go through progression reads. I thought Dillon did a really good job of that tonight. They changed the picture up on a little bit, excluding one play of his. But that's what's going to happen when you see some more zone. You're going to have to find the soft zone and attack it, and he did a good job of that.
Coach, Noah hasn't really been getting much opportunities, and he scored a touchdown today. How do you think his performance gave him? How do you think his touchdown gave him confidence?
Yeah, it was a great touchdown. So I imagine it gave him great confidence. We have a lot of confidence in Noah. He did a really good job today.
Talk about the third quarter and a little bit of the lulls in the second half you've seen a few times this year. What goes into coaching that differently and kind of improving there?
I'll have to look at the film and kind of assess it. What stopped us from having success? What created that? But I couldn't answer that right now.
You've talked about being able to have explosive plays from the beginning of the season. What was the importance of starting the game on that note, on not only offense but defense as well?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's the biggest indicator of wins in college football outside of takeaways, right? So we want to be able to create those on offense and limit them on defense. I think in the first half on defense, we gave up one on a run that we, didn't fit properly. But outside of that, we were able to keep them contained for the most part.
Your thoughts on Dillon's performance in a game that, for him, will be remembered, statistically speaking, for him moving up in the all-time passing and passing touchdown marks? How do you think he played? How do you think he connected overall through the passing game?
Yeah, again, like I said earlier, I think he did a really good job of managing the pictures he was getting throughout the day, excluding one play. I know he'd want that play back, but overall, Dillon's done what he's been able to do all year for us and be really consistent and execute.
Coach, where do you think the defense really helped you in the game today, and what goals do you have in the defense looking forward for further games?
Yeah, I just think being able to start off fast. There's been a couple games this year where teams had sustained drives early in the game for us to be able to limit that early on and get them off the field, get the ball back to our offense. And then more than that, attacking the ball the way they attacked the ball today. We'll have to go back and look at it, but it looked like we even caused a fumble that maybe didn't get ruled a fumble on the field. But I thought our guys attacked the ball, with relentless effort today.
Like you guys liked the perimeter offensively. What did you like in that situation in those matchups?
Yeah, again, it was based on some of the looks that they were giving us. They were playing a lot of cover two, and that requires the corners to be run support in those pictures. So we were able to take advantage of that at times. But they were trying to change the look. We wanted to make sure we were able to attack it.
Number one ranking, obviously, you say who cares, but what does it say about your team that they're able to keep that mentality and win games like this?
Yeah, they put themselves in position to have that opportunity, but that's all it is an opportunity, right? And success only matters if you're satisfied, and I know our team's not.
Talked a couple of weeks ago about Nico, but it's a career high with 3 PBUs today and challenged against some major receivers. But first impressions off the field of his performance today?
Yeah, I thought he played well. I want to go back and be able to watch the film and see. I thought overall Nico had a good game.
Talked about next week being a tough physical game. What excites you about that game, but also what do you think your team needs to do maybe better going into that matchup?
Yeah, once we were able to watch the film, we'll probably be able to assess where we really need to improve. But obviously, Michigan's a good team. They've had a lot of success. Obviously, they have a storied history. It's an exciting game to get to be a part of. That's what you sign up for when you're in the Big Ten. But traveling there, right, the ability to handle travel and go play in a tough environment is going to be a fun challenge for our team.
Coach, how does it help you guys to continue giving opportunities to guys who aren't really starting every week and, are on the second team?
Well, if you're on the field for us, you're a starter, right? It doesn't matter. The standard doesn't change when you step on the field. So we have the same expectations for our guys. When they go out there, they need to go execute and do their job. And the only way you get better at football is playing football. So we want to go in and create more opportunities for people to do that.
Coach, I know you said you wanted to look at the clip to see what exactly happened in the third quarter, but I think in the last 5 games, you guys have 3 points in the third quarter total. Is there something going on, or do you feel like in halftime you notice a little bit of a different energy, or?
No, I mean, we've only scored 3 points, I guess, in the last 3 quarters. We got to go look at it. Energy's good.
Yeah, you talked a lot about Noah today, but how much do you enjoy just seeing a running back truck a dude to finish the play in the end zone?
Great feeling, isn't it? Yeah, it's awesome seeing guys play physical, right? And I think that's something our team prides itself in. And when you get an opportunity to run through a man's face, there's nothing better than that.
You mentioned during the telecast that Jordan Birch might be able to go next week. Just how far away in timeline is he and Terrence, who couldn't go today?
Yeah, he did some limited stuff for us, and at the end of practice next week, we'll continue to evaluate it and see what's best for him, right? And in turn, what's best for our team.
What does the energy in the locker room at halftime and then coming out of halftime look like, considering the score of today's game at half?
Yeah, our guys, said it's 0-0. They have, they have a high standard for themselves and where they want to be at. But they weren't done. They knew it wasn't done yet.
That's Coach Lanning and his reactions after Oregon's 38-9 victory, where the Ducks controlled the ball game for the most part against Illinois in this one, and got a big win because of it. And Well, the quarterback, he played well once again. Dillon Gabriel, 18 for 26, 291 yards, 3 touchdowns, did throw an interception. We'll get his thoughts on his entire performance when we return on Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Duck Insider, your home for the latest news on Oregon athletics on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Ma, is this how you feed a hamster?
I think so.
Is my homework right?
I think so.
Is, this milk still good?
I think so.
When it comes to parenting, sometimes it's okay to think you know. But when it's something as important as your child's car seat, don't just think. Know. Double check if your child is in the right seat for their age and size. It'll help protect them in a car crash. Don't just think. Know by visiting nhtsa.gov/the right seat. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back inside the Country Financial Studio on Duck Insider, brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Ryan Milano taking you through today's show. We just heard from Dan Lanning. We will also hear from the quarterback coming up just in a moment. If you want to see all these interviews, they are on the Go Ducks YouTube channel. Brendan Reichelt in the studio right now, hard at work. He's got some more stuff going on. We'll figure out what he's doing later. But Dillon Gabriel, he had a strong day at the ballpark. Ballpark? Do they call football a ballpark? They don't really. No. They do play ball in it. It's like there is grass. It's a ball stadium. That's what we've settled on here in the Country Financial Studio. Ball stadium. We'll workshop it. Dillon Gabriel, he had a good day. He talked with the media. When we come back, we'll have a better verbiage for ball stadium. I don't like it. Okay. Let's get to the quarterback, Dillon Gabriel.
All right, you move up the record books. What does it mean to
come on, James?
I know you told me it doesn't matter, except it's
come
Timmy
on,
Chang.
James.
Like, you grew up watching that guy. You know
fair.
what it means. So
Fair.
what does it mean to pass him and only Case Keenum is in front of you now?
Well, don't try to flip it. I love Timmy Chang. You know, that's a UH legend. But, dude, I'm chasing wins, dude. That's where I'm at, you know. And I don't want to not give you an answer, but to be quite honest, it's been the goal of mine for a long time, but now more than ever. I think you play a long career like I did, and you realize a lot of things. And, you know, I choose winning 100% of the time. So special as in a lot of guys came together to make this happen, right? Speaking offensively, I think there's statistics that you look at it, and it's guys being efficient, guys being really good with the ball in their hands. The connection between, you know, QB receiver, guys up front, giving the time. So don't want to dodge that. But, yeah, like I said, I'm chasing wins, and that's all I'm focused on.
Dillon, how important was it to get off to a fast start there? You got that 14-0 lead, and it kind of never looked back.
Yeah, I talked about starting fast. Had a feeling just when we woke up, you know, just the vibe of everyone. You know, you go in the elevator before you get on the bus. You just see it in people's eyes. But also when you get out there to warm up, you feel it. So proud of the way that the guys started, and that's all 3 phases. I think everyone came together and played really well.
Dan said there's one throw tonight that you probably want back. What's that? What'd you see on that interception? He said they changed the picture on you.
Yeah, it was man look, single high. Felt like I could squeeze it in there. I think it ran from me as well, but just got to be smarter with that in that situation. Getting down to the flat, I'm aggressive as well, but got to be smart in that situation. Things that I got to work on are very clear, and things that need to change. So, talk about emphasis. You got it, very clear for me. So.
We asked Coach Lanning at the beginning of the week what the #1 ranking meant to him. He said, "Who cares?" We asked you. You said, "Who cares? We don't care." But how does that mindset just really help you when it comes to preparing for another opponent each week, that you just don't care what you're ranked, you don't care about the outside noise? How does that truly help you when it comes to just the preparation of every opponent?
Yeah, each week is important within itself, and I think you got to live that life of being present, and it's very easy to say but hard to do. But I think just the way Coach Lanning has done it, from the top down, everyone's focused on a week at a time, and the rest will take care of itself. You have to be where your feet are in order to get to the point that you want to. And I think that's a mindset that, like I said, it's hard to do. A lot of people, like James, man, he's creating these narratives, right? Creating these narratives, trying to, I think in life, everyone has these individual accolades and things that, when there's success, there's things that people can look at that individually guys have played good here or there, but we're just so focused on a team and being team-oriented because the rest will take care of itself. So that's the biggest mindset.
When you have as much time in the pocket as you did on that Tez touchdown, like, what do you think about? Like, what's going? Like, you have so much time. Are you thinking this is a surprisingly long amount of time for me to figure out a solution here?
I'm not going to sing another song, but you could lead me into that direction. But no, they've done a great job. I think people try to switch it up in that way as a quarterback, whether it's simulated pressures to create urgency in your end, or starting in a bare front, going to drop 8, trying to speed you up when you really should slow down. But I think our O-line does a great job of that and helping me. I think that's not only the only time that's happened to. I think it's happened Michigan State, this game, a couple others that. You're just sitting back there because it's drop 8. But I think guys downfield have done a good job of getting open as well.
Dillon, obviously a big day for Noah. Big day for Noah. What do you think about his performance, and then obviously the big hit that he put on the touchdown?
Yeah, I love the mindset, and just the physicality that room runs with. I think it kind of sets the tone for everyone as well. You see a guy like Noah run like that or be extremely physical at the point of attack, makes you want to do the same. So he's just instilling that confidence in everyone and mentality to, when you get the ball in your hands, to be physical.
In the last 5 games, you guys have scored, I think, a total of 3 points in the third quarter. Is there something going on with the offense, or do you feel like, you guys just hit a rough patch at after the halftime? Or?
Yeah, I think just things we can be better at. It starts with me. You go to that first drive in the third quarter, a second and third down that I should create completions. Maybe we're not in that situation. And then we don't really get the ball back till the last 46. So we get it back in the fourth quarter. I think that's by design by teams, right? The middle 8 is always talked about. So how do you dominate it? You either hold the ball the whole time or, go score. So that's something that we can be better at. That's also, us not getting the ball in that because we took it early. So there's things you trade for that, but definitely things that we can look back on and get better from. That whole second half, that's a film to watch, and definitely improvement from that.
How does Justice Lowe make this offense better? We're starting to see him play more the last couple of weeks. He scored his touchdown today. Just how is he making you guys better?
Just being him. We love Justice. Evan calls him Justice, so that's interesting. But J-Lo's a great guy. I think from a physical standpoint, he's explosive, he's fast. But I think from a mental side, just how smart he is, his route running ability, him understanding coverage. And, you look at those two, the crosser and then the ball kind of, on a 5x2, that's 2 balls that I should put on him. And, we're moving the chain. So that's a guy as well. I can help him, and we can be better together. So his addition, we've known what he could do. He's just getting his opportunity now, so I'm proud of him.
Dillon Gabriel hyping up his wide receiver, a guy who Evan Stewart calls Justice. Everyone else, I call him Justice. I interviewed him earlier in the year. We didn't come up with a more inventive name for football stadium. We were talking about Gabe's excursions in Chicago and Wrigley Field and all of that, and how he's gone and seen a few games out there. But we like stadium, gridiron. Those work. Those work. But we are going to hear from some wide receivers on the outside that really helped the quarterback. Tez Johnson, Justice Lowe, number 14. We'll hear from both of them when we return on Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear autumn leaves, you won't be covering roads alone this season. Take on fall in the powerful Toyota Tundra or tackle trails in a Tacoma. Head to Toyota.com for more info. Toyota, let's go places.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Dear autumn leaves, you won't be covering roads alone this season. Take on fall in the powerful Toyota Tundra or tackle trails in a Tacoma. Head to Toyota.com for more info. Toyota, let's go places.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey, so what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course. You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high. Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back inside the Country Financial Studio. Duck Insider brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Heard from the quarterback. He had a few weapons he hooked up to early and often in this ball game. Tez Johnson, 6 receptions, 102 yards, and a touchdown. Justice Lowe, he was involved a lot in the offense. 2 receptions, 51 yards, and a touchdown. But it got started in the ball game with Tez Johnson, his 31-yard touchdown catch and run and juke and run and juke and dive for the pylon and get into the end zone. Tez Johnson chronicles that play as well as the entire game for Oregon in their 38-9 win against Illinois. Let's hear from number 15, Tez Johnson.
Tez, you got off to a really fast start tonight, not only all the way back here, not only getting out by a couple scores, but the defense gets an interception. How important was that fast start for you guys today?
We always go into every game and say, let's be the most explosive team, the fastest team. Me personally, I think we're the fastest in the nation. So the game that we play is different. Nobody really seen us play like how fast we play, and I think a lot of teams would catch them off guard. So,
Tez, on your touchdown, you obviously surveyed a little bit and had to go lateral before kind of going to the end zone.
Yeah.
What do you see on a play like that where you're kind of deciding when it's time to go, and what kind of hole are you looking for? What did you see specifically on that play?
I saw the third guy. Before I even made my first 2 moves. Just knowing I got to make him miss before anything. It was a scramble drill. I just cut across the middle. Dillon threw an unbelievable ball. I caught it and I was in space, and I'm pretty much like in space. That's where I play my game. So it's really fun to be in space on a defender that's
not really more that can lateral movement, it makes a highlight every time. And I just see the pylon, and it was me and the defender in the pylon, so I think I won.
Tez, we talked about Justice a lot and kind of his growth in this offense. Finally gets in the end zone for his first time in his career. What's that like to see that for him?
Justice, we've been waiting for that the whole year. Justice is one of those guys in the room we all learn from. Just like we said, he's the smartest guy in the room. When he make plays, everybody hat on the helmet. Justice made plays today that it was normal. He does it every day. Justice is one of those guys that is one of the better guys in our room that we all look up to and we learn from. So just seeing him have success today in the game was really outstanding on his part.
Back to the touchdown for a second. You mentioned it was kind of a scramble drill. Can you talk about the chemistry that you and Dillon have to kind of know where you can find the right space and kind of walk us through kind of how that came together?
Well, kudos to the offensive lineman. They gave him all the time in the world. I think he was back there 6 seconds. They had a end dropper, and I broke in, and it was like, okay, I can't really run all the way in. There's a guy in there. I see Dillon sitting there. He's looking left to right. And I know from practice we had that same type of situation. And I did that same exact play in practice. And we hit it. And I think Dillon knows exactly where I was going when I went to scramble drill. And we get to the sideline. He was like, I knew you was going there the whole time. We just had to set it up.
Tez, what was your reaction to Noah hitting the truck stick on the touchdown?
Wow. I mean, my heart jumped out of my chest. I was like, ooh. Like, I didn't think he was going to do that. I thought he was just going to get in there. You know, he spin a lot. But he was on a different level today. And I'm glad to see that for him. How hard he practiced and the injuries he went through, it's crazy. Just to see him have success is really good because he's been working so hard for it. And we all pulling for Noah. Noah is one of the better backs we got in our room. Even the young guys, you can see all the young guys feeding off everybody's energy. So,
why is this team able to just week in, week out come in and respect their opponent, play really hard? You guys don't really lay a dud.
I mean, when you're the top of the food chain, everybody wants to be that at the top of the food chain. I mean, every day we know we got a target on our back, but we don't really care who's coming after us. We don't care about the number one spot. We just care about going 1-0 at the end of the week. I mean, it's good and all, but we don't really care that we number one. We just want to win football games.
Building off of that, just how does that mindset help you prepare for a team like Illinois that is, one of the top-ranked teams is in the country?
Illinois was really good. They was physical. They was sound. You can tell they coach Brad them on physicality as well. But I think just us today, them going against us, they just never really seen it. Like, I know in practice they don't really go against fast guys like us, so it's different for any defense that goes out there and just see a different type of speed. It's something you got to adjust to, and it's not easy. And Illinois was a great team. We just the most physical team won.
Back-to-back quarterbacks now. You guys have record-breaking guys back there. What is it like to be a part of their legacy, and is it kind of a battle to be able to get those type of touchdowns?
I mean, both quarterbacks was really good. They work so hard. It doesn't shock you that they having success or breaking records. For me, I just do what I can for the team, and just to be a part of it is, just to be a part of a team is really great, and I don't really take it for granted. Having two quarterbacks that are really good, one in the NFL and one here now breaking records is really outstanding, and so you don't really think of it like that as you on the same team as two record-breaking quarterbacks. You just know you're grateful for the opportunity you have. So.
Grateful for the opportunity. Tez Johnson made the most of his opportunity on Saturday. 6 receptions, 102 yards receiving, and a touchdown for Tez Johnson. Also, speaking on that quarterback that broke records last year, but might be a brother of Tez Johnson, who knows. Bo Nix, he had a pretty good day at the office on Sunday as well. For Brendan Reichout's Denver Broncos, he's very excited about it. 3 total touchdowns for Bo Nix. So, good, strong day for him. Good, strong day for Tez Johnson. Good, strong day for Tez Johnson's opposite in the wide receiving core. Justice Lowe getting a lot more run in that wide receiving core over the last few weeks. He reeled in a touchdown, his first as a Duck. Justice Lowe, a 2-catch, 51-reception touchdown day and a 34-yard touchdown snag over the middle. Let's hear from the wide receiver and his thoughts postgame.
Take us through the feeling of scoring that first touchdown as a Duck and kind of what that means to you.
Shoot. I don't think any words can describe how I felt, but I just know I was just super in the moment, just super excited. Just all the hard work and preparation, throughout the years I've been here, was finally starting to pay off. So
Walk us through the play in particular, because heading into it, they had only allowed 5 passes of 30-plus yards and really didn't get beat over the top, and you did. So walk us through what you were seeing heading into the game and on that play in particular.
Heading into the play, they showed us a lot of man and stuff, but obviously just coming out, they started playing a lot of zone. So when we did have the play call, it was just really more so like, okay, there's a dude in front of me. I just got to run by him, and then the ball's going to come. So I just kind of did just that, and shoot, I was just in the end zone. So
Coach kind of just talks about how it doesn't matter, if you're on the field, you're a starter when it comes to Oregon football. For someone like you that may have not, we've heard a lot about you from many of your players, especially the players that are in your room.
Mm-hmm.
How would you describe just how that mindset has helped the team get to where they are today?
I think really just having a lot of the younger guys actually take pride in like their role and stuff, and making sure that their head is in it too, because even though majority of the time we have a lot of seniors and stuff like that, just knowing that if you keep your head in the playbook, you execute and practice and all that, if you're ready, you're ready, and he gonna play you for sure. So just honestly, just making sure that the young guys take pride in their role and stuff like that. So yeah.
Your peers always talk about your IQ on the field. Where does that come from? Where did you develop that at? Was that high school? Was that here once you got here? How did you get that way?
I would say definitely in just the way I prepare. I'm in the playbook. I wouldn't say the most, but I'm definitely in the playbook for sure. And just really playing the game before the game. Just making sure, even though we do have like a walkthrough and stuff scheduled, just making sure I myself get a walkthrough before, just doing things ahead of time, stuff like that. So just being prepared has definitely helped for sure.
Apparently, Evan calls you Justice. Thoughts on this?
Just a little inside joke that me and him have. But yeah, it's just me and him. It's our relationship. So,
what's it like playing with a quarterback where no matter where you line up, you're still a live target? Where there's a lot of guys where if you're on the left hash, regardless of time, down, distance, score, if you're to split out to the right like you were on the second one, you're not an option for a lot of quarterbacks in this country. Yet you are with him. And he hit 3 to Evan last week, and he hits you there. What is it like running routes for a guy where he can literally throw it anywhere on the field?
I really just think I just really harp on like all 11 guys on the field have a purpose, like to be on the field. Whether the ball might not come to you, you running a route for your partner to get open and stuff like that. Just knowing like, okay, every play is really your play. You just got to execute it. And the ball might not come to you, but it definitely will, especially on that play. I personally didn't think I was getting the ball, but like I said, I executed my route the way it was supposed to be ran, and I got the ball. So,
how have you felt your connection with Dillon just kind of increase and strengthen as you've stepped into a bigger role over the last couple of games?
It's definitely the growth has been there for sure. Me and him, we practice a lot. Even just not even in our scheduled practices, but even outside of that, making sure that me and him just get on the same page with a lot of the routes and concepts that we run and stuff. Just taking it to the next level with him, and just making sure that me and him are just making the right read so we can get the ball downfield.
I'm not sure who your rooting interests were growing up, but would you say that what happened today was a lifelong dream for you?
Honestly, no. I didn't start playing football until like my junior year of high school. I really wanted to pursue track and do hurdles, but now that I got the opportunity, everything is just starting to flow for me now. So I definitely would say it wasn't a dream of mine, but it's definitely something I've really worked hard for. So yeah.
When you see Noah truck somebody like that, just what does that do for you, and what does that do for the rest of the team? Is there a jolt of energy that you feel from that? How does that impact the game when you see something like that?
It just makes you want to play harder, honestly. When I was watching it on the field, I'm like, okay, broke a tackle, and then it was 1-on-1 to the end zone, and the guy just, he didn't make the tackle. So yeah, it kind of just gets you pumped up. Like it makes you really just want to get out there, block even harder, run your routes even harder. Just knowing that your teammate who just ran over, dude, just exploded through the end zone. So yeah.
Coach Lanning, and I think Tez has talked about it a lot too, about just the amount of physicality that your team brings in practice. And then Tez mentioned today in his press conference that a lot of defenses aren't able to stop the offense because they're not seeing that kind of speed when they practice week to week. Just how has your defense challenged you, and how do you challenge them so you can prepare to face big time opponents and big time moments?
Definitely. Our practices are super physical. I would say that for sure. Catching the ball, and you're most likely going to get hit. But just making sure that, practice is super physical, and then obviously trying to break tackles and stuff like that. Trying to just make sure practice is just harder than what the game would actually be. So when we're in the game, everything is starting to slow down, and, it's a lot easier. So
back to your high school career, you were committed to Utah. Dan Lanning gets hired. Can you just walk us through how you got the offer to come here and just kind of what made your decision to flip and how it's gone now?
Definitely just the relationship aspect. Coach June definitely helped just in the process because, like you said, I was committed to Utah. But then I got a call from Lanning after he had won a national championship, and he FaceTimed me. And then, kind of just that connection right there, him winning a national championship, but then him actually, making time for me and stuff like that. And then June, of course, the effort he put onto me and stuff like that definitely just, helped me grow a relationship with them. And then we just took off from there.
Obviously, Dillon's throwing a lot of touchdowns to you guys, but he's a pretty energetic and funny guy when he gets into the end zone. What's it like for you to see him score on the ground? Just how does that feel?
It's really just funny, honestly, because like you said, he's probably one of the funniest dudes that's ever walked in this locker room before. So when he goes in the end zone, something's gonna happen that's funny. Either whether he dances or something like that, just of that nature.
That's Justice Lowe after a big performance, and we're really seeing the emergence of Justice Lowe in this offense. You've heard Tez Johnson talk about it. You just heard Tez Johnson say that Justice Lowe is the smartest guy in the room. We've heard the wide receivers rave about his route running, and now we're getting to see Justice Lowe out on the gridiron putting together performance after performance as Oregon got the 38-9 win over Illinois. Now we're looking forward. Ducks going on the road to the Big House, playing against Michigan next week. We have kick time for that, kick time for Maryland, new uniforms, all that coming up when we return on Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older-adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back inside the Country Financial Studio on Duck Insider, brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union. We have kick times, not for next week, but for the week after against Maryland. Coming down from the league office this morning, Oregon playing against Maryland in the next home game at Autzen Stadium. Kickoff will be at 4 p.m. Pacific on November 9th, which means that here on the Oregon Sports Network, we'll have pregame show at 2 p.m. leading up to that game in the first ever matchup against the Terrapins. It'll be televised on Big Ten Network. Also, coming down earlier from our ticket office today, we still have tickets available for this game. If you want to be in Autzen Stadium, want to be a part of this season, want to see what is currently the number one team in the country, go to goducks.com/FBTix to get your tickets in the first ever matchup between the Ducks and the Terrapins. If you're wondering, like we were in studio before the show, what is a terrapin? A terrapin is a group of turtles, small turtles, that live in fresh or brackish water. That's the exact definition. And if you want to see the first time where these two aquatic mascots of duck and terrapin face off on the football field, you can on November 9th. GoDucks.com/FBTix. That game, 4 p.m. televised on Big Ten Network, as we just got word earlier today. Against Michigan, we've had kick time. It'll be on 12:30 on CBS, which means that we on the Oregon Sports Network this weekend will have the pregame show starting at 10:30 in the morning Pacific as the crew travels to Michigan for that big-time Big Ten matchup. It'll be the Ducks wearing a little bit of a new-look uniform and wanting to storm in the same way that the Ducks stormed into L.A. in the early 2010s. We actually have a poster here in studio of the all-white-out uniforms that Oregon wore in that game, the Stormtrooper look. In this new era of Oregon football, there's a lot of inspiration from old uniforms. This one very much inspired by those uniforms, and a really great video put together by Oregon and the equipment staff and the Van Horns as part of what is the Warp Speed uniform. Let's see the video and the creation of the new look.
Next one is all white Warp Speed. So that's the next one. Yeah, chrome helmet. You can do it with a bunch of different helmets, and I'll show you guys, but it was just kind of like a clean all white look with the same reflective on the shoulders. And this is gonna look fantastic.
Warp Speed is just fast. It's traditionally that's been our Stormtrooper look, but when we're wearing all white, it's like we just want to be fast and aggressive. We want to play at warp speed.
It's just fast speed on the road. You have to wear white away when you're on the wave program. But when you bring white and silver and carbon fiber silver and silver reflective together, it feels like you're in a race car versus a football uniform.
So now we want to go chrome all white with it, or you want to go, okay. Is everybody else all right with that? Okay. Chrome, white, silver.
That combination that you can't help but look at and think, wow, that looks fast. That looks really clean.
Warp Speed, being able to take a lot of those same stories from that Fly era jersey, but be able to apply it in a new way, and with some fun callbacks of people remember the famous 2007 Oregon versus Michigan game where Oregon goes to the big house with Dennis Dixon and beats Michigan. We want to do a callback of that, that darker green with the white base as a really cool piece there. We also wanted to be able to honor the 2012 Oregon versus USC uniform that had Oregon go down and storm LA. So that had a lot of meaning with the beetle number fill within it, be able to balance that out with the jersey.
Yeah, so but it's supposed to represent like a duck, and it changes colors, and when it like a mallard's head, purple and green.
The number font is a color shifting green. So again, that as you're moving in space at really fast, that's shifting with the light, and it again adds to the effect of fast move.
So 9 is at Michigan.
What damn near blinding me.
So 9's good?
Great job, guys. Absolutely tremendous. You heard some of the players and their reactions to seeing the uniforms, and that was just about my reaction when I saw the uniforms over the weekend, too. It is all about speed and quickness and speed and fast and speed as these uniforms, all white with some silver, and I love the numbers where it literally changes depending how far away you are from a player. So if there's a guy, let's just say Tez Johnson, like he did last week against Illinois in open field, well, one defender, he might see the 15 on the uniform as a little bit of a black 15. And then he gets to the next guy, and they might see it as a green 15 with the more speed. And then he might get towards the pylon, it might be a little bit of like a combination purplish 15. I don't know. You'll have to see throughout the course of the game because it's going to be constantly changing, and the faster you go and the more separation you have from a defender, the different the color will look to that individual defender. I think that is awesome. I think these uniforms are awesome, and I think that once again, the Oregon football team, Kenny Farr, the Van Horns, absolutely killed it with the uniforms, getting another look and another uniform drop for Oregon football. Absolutely tremendous, and those will be the threads that Oregon will be wearing against Michigan coming up this weekend on the road, 12:30 p.m. on CBS, 10:30 pregame show for the Oregon Sports Network on that as well. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back, but there is so much more that's going on around the athletic department. Basketball season is coming up literally a week from today. We are about a week and a few hours from tip-off at Matthew Knight Arena. Some stuff going on with the basketball team, some stuff going on with volleyball, soccer, both golf teams. Get into it all when we return on Duck Inside on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
Heather and I had an argument just like any other couple. I was lost. I had snapped. I had a gun and I was going to take my own life. Heather helped me realize that there was still a life to live. For the better of myself, my family, my weapon is now safely put away.
A moment of crisis can happen to anyone. Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
You say you'd never give in to a meltdown and never fill your feed with kid photos. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it and never let them run wild through the grocery store. So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, no, it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Back here in the Country Financial studio, it's Duck Insider wrapping up the show, and there's a lot to touch on here at the end of the show. A lot that has come down from the league office and such throughout the course of the weekend. And first, Oregon women's basketball. A week away, their point guard, Deja Kelly, one of 20 players on the preseason watch list for the 2024-2025 Nancy Lieberman Award, presented annually to the nation's top point guard. Kelly is named to the watch list for the third consecutive season in her career and is one of 6 Big Ten women's basketball players who are on the Nancy Lieberman award list for the award watch list for the top point guard in the country. You might get to meet Deja Kelly tonight, because there is Matt Knight Mayhem going on at Matthew Knight Arena tonight from 6:30. The doors will open to 8:30 when the event will end. Admission is free. Student athletes from men's basketball, women's basketball, volleyball, acrobatics, and tumbling, they will all be there. They'll pass out candy and participate in free Halloween-themed activities with the fans. Some of the free activities that fans can enjoy are pumpkin and face painting, a photo booth, a scavenger hunt, and a lot more. Bags and photos, food and drink, they will all be allowed. However, no autographs will be permitted for this event. And it is Halloween week, so costumes are very, very encouraged. And if you do show up to Matt Knight Mayhem tonight, the fans in attendance will receive a special ticket voucher for an Oregon non-conference home game in basketball. It's going to be a big event last night. I was over in the marketing office earlier, and I thought I was going to have to call like UOPD because I saw a carcass sitting in their office, and then all I realized was that it was a skeleton that they have deemed Carl, who they will be bringing to the event tonight as well at Matt Knight Mayhem. So very spooky going on at Matthew Knight Arena. Also, on the golf front, both men's and women's golf wrapping up their fall slate. With women's golf, they are part of the prestigious East Lake Cup, competing at a championship level and nationally televised event for the second week in a row. The Ducks are now up to number 4 in the national rankings after finishing first in stroke play last week at the Jackson T. Stevens Cup. Oregon is now competing against a group of a very distinguished field with the top 4 teams in the country from last year. Round 1 of stroke play just concluded, going into the match play seedings for tomorrow. Oregon finished 3rd. They'll face off against the team who finished 2nd in that stroke play. Also, men's golf, they're wrapping up their fall season at the Preserve Golf Club Collegiate today and tomorrow in Carmel, California. And volleyball got a double sweep over the weekend, and Oregon soccer concluded the season. So much going on. It's crossover season. Joey's got you tomorrow. Go Ducks.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking. Now start screening.